What's good, my people? Welcome into Buckets, Action Network's daily NBA betting podcast. We're in the workshop Tuesday NBA slate, so the regular crew is with you. J Money is money. You know the man. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, NBA Talk with Jay. I am your host, Sean Little, recording this live from my Tommy John home studio. I'm wearing Tommy John underwear right now. They're the most comfortable out. Go get you a pair. You know the deal. We give you the play, we give you the cap, we get you guys out of here. NBA Cup Jay is visiting right now. That's who's on the mic. NBA Cup in-season tournament kicks off tomorrow or today. We're recording this Monday night. Of course, NBA in-season tournament is with us. Jay, before we get into the plays, I wanted to get your thoughts overall. This is year 2. We were in Vegas last year for the NBA Cup. We saw LeBron lift the banner. He got the inaugural title there. How you feel coming in? So look, there was a lot of hoopla about the courts. There's a lot of hoopla about half the players don't know the rules, what they got to do. People didn't buy in. But as it got closer and as it got to the elimination rounds, it did have a little extra juice. It was really fun. How did you feel about it? How do you feel about it coming into year 2? And does that banner mean a little something? Look, does the trophy mean anything, Jay?
The banner doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry. So if you're like a story franchise like the Lakers. Now, if you're you're the Wizards or somebody like that, yeah, you know what I'm saying. That means something. But I don't think it's. You can't treat it like it's a championship or anything like that. It's literally just an in-season tournament. So I probably wouldn't raise a banner for it. That's just me personally. But I mean, you want to be happy for winning, right? So I mean, it's not like you definitely want to be, if you're going to have a tournament, you want to get crowned for being the best one. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to watch these games, man. It'll be interesting to see if there's a different dynamic, like where some younger teams care a little bit more. We obviously, with the money incentive there, some of these guys, they need that money there. You see what I'm saying? So I can't wait to watch the games. Hopefully there's some better courts this year as well. I can't say some of those courts like literally just hurt my eyes. Like it's just hard to watch it. You shouldn't have a red or a purple court. Like, what are we doing here? If anything, just put a huge logo or somewhere. If you want to do something around the edges, that's cool too. But the whole court being like blue or red or purple is just like, that's crazy to me, to be honest with you. You don't want it to be an eyesore for the people that's watching on TV or even in person. But yeah, we were at the championship last year, Lakers, Pacers. It was a great game, man. So I don't think I'm going again this year, Sean. But I can't get away this time. But can't wait to watch these games, man. Some great basketball as well. And then probably after we get towards after the first couple games, then I'll try to make like a futures bet or something like that, or MVP or something like that. But for now, just kind of try to bet these first set of games right, try to get those right, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, like it or not, it brings a little extra spice. I'm excited for the games tomorrow, more than I've been excited for any other Tuesday NBA slate to start the year, right? I'm excited to see what the courts look like. I'm excited to see who's taking this thing seriously. That extra juice it does bring, I think, is going to be fun. I think that carries over from last year. And it seems like an opportunity to show. Like, I'm pretty confident the Cavs are serious, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see them come out and like, yo, we're going to come out and win the NBA Cup and set the tone that, yeah, we can compete with Boston. They're in the same group as the Celtics. Let's go out, try to win this NBA Cup, and then really set the tone and get rolling. Kenny Atkinson's first year, and then already let people know that, yeah, we started the season undefeated. They're in a little dogfight with the Bulls as we record this right now on Monday night. But, yeah, we're for real. So I'm excited to see how the overall tournament in year 2 plays out. All right, let's get to the plays. J Money is money. Give me your best bet for the Tuesday NBA slate.
I'm on the Phoenix Suns. Whether you want to take money line or points, I'll get into the cap, but the Suns have been winning a ton of really close games. So I'll go with -3 for the show. But if you'd like to take money line just to be sure, I would suggest that when the cutoff point is minus 150. So it's really whatever you guys are comfortable with. But I do like the Phoenix Suns to win this game.
NBA Cup starts tomorrow. I'm going to go Knicks to win Group A plus 105. We'll get to the cap on that. And then I have my second play is Mavs. First half, +1, +1.5. Not an official number on the market. I think they win the first half outright, but always take the points. I will be taking the points when that official number drops. Me and Jay were going through the slate. We saw a +1.5 at -125. We don't like that. Let's try to get a +1 at -110. Let's see where it shakes either later tonight or first thing in the morning Tuesday. But Mavs first half against the Warriors. All right, Jay, come right back to you. Let's talk Phoenix Suns. Why are you looking their direction in this spot?
Well, the Suns have quietly been one of the biggest turnaround teams from last year. We know that they were disappointing. Now, they did have a ton of injuries. Unfortunately, they're already dealing with some this year as well. Kevin Durant will be out for a few weeks. Bill kind of turned his ankle a little bit, ended up staying in the game, so that's a good sign as well. So they do have three. Well, Booker's not that old, but Bill and Kevin Durant starting to get up there in age. Once you start to hit those 30s in the NBA, you're playing double-digit years in the NBA. Those miles start to run up on the old tires out there. You know what I mean? But I still think they have enough to get it done here. I know, obviously, Slim Reaper, you're going to miss him, but I mean, they almost beat the Kings without him. The thing that's so special about this team, they're so interchangeable. They have so many dogs on the team. Even the rookies that are coming in there like Dunn, like these guys are playing hard defense. Royce O'Neal looks like a very improved player just with a coaching change. Sometimes they can happen. One coach can literally, once he has the team buying in, he can literally change the whole culture. We see that with a few teams this year, especially like the Cavs as well, like you were talking about. But Budenholzer has these guys playing right. I mean, he has them shooting threes, playing defense. They know what they're doing out of timeout plays. Towards the end of the game, they're just very focused and well balanced offensively and defensively. Even have Nurkic out there hitting threes as well. So I think they have more than enough. They can get this job done. I know they were without KD, but they are going up against one of the bottom tier teams in the NBA. Obviously, anybody can win on any given night. But the Suns were balling, and like I say, they're only 3-7 against the spread so far this year, but they are 8-2 straight up, and they haven't lost back-to-back games so far. They lost their second game of the season versus the Lakers, rattled off 7 straight wins. They kind of got that loss versus the Kings, got that one out the way. Are we without KD? Now they know what they need to do. Rotation should be a little bit cleaner as well. Nurkic is questionable, but I expect him and Bill to play in this one. Booker is dealing with a little bit of an illness, I'll tell you that, but it's not a back-to-back or anything. They are going to Utah. They have won their last 6 meetings versus the Utah Jazz as well. And if you look on the Utah Jazz spot as well, they are coming off a couple of days of rest. But they're coming off a 4-game road trip as well, where they went from Denver to Chicago to Milwaukee, then down to San Antonio, and went back to the house. They're coming off of a win. They have not won back-to-back games so far this season, and they have not covered back-to-back games so far this season as well. They're 0-3 against the spread coming off of a cover. So I think that trend here continues. And like I said, I just think that the Suns are a really deep team. I think that they have high aspirations this year. I don't think they're messing around. Love the way they're coached. Love the culture. Everyone's happy over there. I will buy the Suns in this spot, whether you take money line or -3. I like the Phoenix Suns to come out here and get their first win of the NBA Cup.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think another key here is Keontae George questionable on the injury report. Make sure you're checking the injury report on the hour, in every hour on the hour, to check out who is popping up and who's coming off, because Keontae George would be a big miss for them. Offensively, he's been a guy that they have leaned on with Collins and Markin and the rest of the guys, but he's been an integral part of that crew. And they're going to need buckets because they're 24th in defensive rating, giving up 116.7 points per 100. So, yeah, defensively, their whole strategy out there is to just try to outscore you. And if they're going to be missing Keontae George potentially, or he's banged up, that wouldn't help. So, yeah, I like that look. The Suns are just a lot more serious basketball team now. Mike Budenholzer on running the show. We talked about that last week, I believe, that the structure is there. Mike Budenholzer, throughout his career, has been just a successful head coach in the regular season, and that has transferred right over to Phoenix. All right. We mentioned at the top of the show that we're coming to you from our Tommy John home studios, and that's because great games start with great underwear, and Tommy John makes the greatest. I have a pair. Action, the whole crew at Action Network, they sent us some product. It is the real deal. I'm wearing Tommy John draws as I record this right now. Super comfy. The t-shirts are comfortable. They sent us some pants as pajamas. They are amazing. Look, the price point is worth it. Go get you some Tommy John stuff. You will not regret it. Remember, When you're truly comfortable, you do everything better, and that includes betting. So if you love the Buckets podcast, if you love this crew, Sean Little, J Money, you'll love Tommy John. Get 25% off your first order right now at TommyJohn.com/buckets. Save 25% at TommyJohn.com/buckets. I'm going to go to the NBA Cup. Knicks to win Group A, plus 105. I have this closer to minus 120. I think the Knicks go 3-1, potentially even 4-0 in group play. And let's recap the rules really quick, because I know a couple people are probably like, man, I don't even know the rules. NBA Cup. 3 groups of 5 for the East, 3 groups of 5 for the West. Each squad plays heads up in the group. Whoever comes out with the most points, the tiebreakers are head-to-head matchups, wins the group, goes to the elimination round. There's 1 wild card from each the East and the West, so there'll be 4. Four representatives for the elimination round from the East and the West. That's pretty much it. Then it's knockout season. Whoever is ranked higher will play the lower seed, and you lose, you're out, and we keep it moving that way. Let's talk about the Knicks in this spot for Group A. Yeah, like as I mentioned, I have this closer to minus 120. I think they should be the clear favorite here. They are the favorite. I think they should be even more of a favorite in this spot. They get Orlando and the Nets at home. And then the Nets is interesting because they play the Nets back-to-back on a home-and-home at the Garden, but I'll get to that in a second. They get Philly and the Hornets on the road. They play Philly tomorrow. The interesting spot here is against the Hornets. Knicks are on the road for Thanksgiving. And I actually want your opinion on this, Jay Money, because I think this is really interesting. Knicks are on the road on Thanksgiving. They play Wednesday, it's Thanksgiving Thursday, then they're on the road Friday. They play the Hornets, NBA Cup at noon after Thanksgiving. So I think that's a really interesting spot for the road team because they're going to be all together. They're going to be hanging out, especially a new squad like the Knicks. They're going to be trying to bond and figure out, how they get this thing on the tracks and get rolling. Meanwhile, on the flip, the Hornets are going to be dealing with family. A lot of those guys are going to be hosting Thanksgiving. They're going to be dealing with all that stuff. That's going to be a first half spot for the Knicks. I will definitely be looking at come game time there. I think it's just a good spot with a noon tip-off coming off of Thanksgiving for a more mature team in the Knicks to get a W there. So I think they have a really good shot to go undefeated in group play. They open up against Philly tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Sixers 0-4 at home, 0-3 as a favorite. They're actually a small favorite here. I always have to be careful with my words that I use for the Knicks because this is where we're at. But
yeah,
I think offensively they are starting to figure it out, and I think they're on the edge of really getting going offensively, and I think that's going to transfer into the improvement on defense because overall, if you look at the squad, the offense is there. Cat has been playing really well, but Cat's also been he's been giving up just as much as he's been scoring, right?
That's a fact.
That's been the issue. They're trying to figure out how to work around Cat defensively because we know for years now, and always the culture with Tibbs is if you're on the floor, you're playing D or you're not on the floor. Right. This is a little different. He's going to be on the floor, regardless if he's playing D or not.
They have to.
So they're trying to figure out how to cover up Brunson and Cat, specifically defensively, and it's been tough to start the year. I think once they're now starting to turn the corner offensively, and I think that helps them defensively. I think they go to Philly and get a W. They get the tough game that was tougher before Banchero went down is going to be on the road for Orlando. I think that's very winnable now. So, yeah, I think they take this competition very seriously. I think this is an opportunity just like Cleveland where they'll come in and they want to prove that we're a little bit more organized and that the lofty expectations coming into the year are going to start to pay off on the NBA Cup, and I'm excited to see how they come out. I think they have a really good shot to go 3-1 or potentially 4-0 in the group. I think they're the best team in the group by quite a wide margin. So I'm going to take the Knicks plus 105 in Group A. Any thoughts on the Knicks Group A? And I mean, it's a soft group. They should come out of that group with Philly, Orlando, and the Hornets.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, the Hornets have been really improved this year. They are kind of like the Pacers, where they're a run and gun. They're a really exciting type of team, and that's who I expect to be in the finals again. I'm not sure if it's the Hornets, but I expect a young, you know what I mean, flashy type of
Right.
team, just like it didn't surprise me at all that the Pacers were there last year. So, but I mean, the Knicks are definitely better than the Hornets. My problem with the Knicks right now is their depth. Like that's a huge thing. Their starting five, I think, might be like top three in the league, top three in the NBA. They're starting five. Obviously, Brunson and Cat are not great defensively, but like you give and take some because they're not great defensively, but they have a really high ceiling offensively as well. You have three other defenders out there. It's hard to hide two of them, but like one of the best starting fives in the NBA. When it gets to the bench, and then now you see McBride start to pop on the injury report with injury with knee inflammation. Like if they don't have McBride coming off the bench, I really worry about the Knicks. Campaign's banged up right now as well. Those are really the only two guys that you're going to trust handling the ball coming off the bench. Who else are you going to put in there? I mean, Kolick is not horrible. He's not a point guard. Where are you going to go to Bowie out there? You just signed him not too long ago. So the Knicks are kind of thin right now. They're just the kind of team that like they need Precious back. They need McBride to be 100% healthy. And I know Campaign is no world beater, but they need his ball handling off the bench. He's their backup point guard. So that's the only thing I worry about them. Any little knick-knack injury to Payne or McBride could really change everything for the Knicks. We know that Tibbs loves to run his guys into the ground. This year, he's going to have to even more. That should come to play later in the season. But for right now, I can't talk you off. I said all that to say that I think if you like the Knicks to win this group, I think what you did say they could possibly go 3-1, but I think that means that you have to bet them versus the Sixers. Obviously as an underdog as well, because I mean, first off, if they don't win that game, the odds plummet anyway, and you're getting like a maybe plus 200 or something. You know what I mean? So I feel like you just go ahead and bet that game. And then if they lose and you still feel like they can get it done, then you take the major plus money because like I say, it's either they win tomorrow and then that plus is going to turn to a minus, or if they lose. So I think they go hand in hand. If you like them, I think you probably go ahead and take them versus Philly in game one.
Yeah, I like that point a lot, actually. That's very well said. McBride's questionable. Knee inflammation. Campaign is also questionable. Yeah, I mean, the depth is very concerning for the Knicks at the moment. Monica McNutt on the telecast the other night made a really good point that just the Pacers are so deep. The top dogs go sit on the bench and rest, and then by the time they came off the bench, they're still playing the starters for the Knicks, and they just had fresh legs and just ran them off in the fourth. They knocked down as many threes in the fourth as the Knicks did in the entire game. They were just fresh. They couldn't keep up with the Indiana Pacers. So stay tuned there. I still like them to win the group. I think that that group is soft enough where they can still get it done, potentially going 3-1, 4-0. All right, spot play, Jay. Spot play Little is back, Jay.
Yeah,
we're going straight to the Dallas Mavericks. First half, +1, money line, +1.5. Get the best number. I'm going to take the best number with the points as I can. It'll probably be a -1 or +1 -110. The Golden State Warriors are coming off of a 5-game road trip that was the absolute gauntlet. And they're feeling really good. And they played really well. Let me get the games up here. 5-game road trip for the Golden State Warriors. They went to the Rockets and got a W. They went to Washington and got a W. Then they went to Boston, got the W without Jaylen Brown. Then they went to Cleveland and lost. They gave up 136 to the Cavs. Then they came right back and played the Thunder, run 127-116. They then go home, get a day of rest or two, and you know the routine, Jay Money. You go walk the dog, you go pick up some dry cleaning. Luka Doncic is bringing the ball up the floor, and then they're coming off a really, really awesome, fun, but tough loss to the Denver Nuggets. If you didn't watch that game, go watch the Denver Nuggets Dallas Mavericks game ASAP. It's one of the best regular season games you're gonna catch. If you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. So go back, watch that. But I think the Kyrie was going crazy. Dallas is going to be jonesing to get back on the floor. And I think this is a spot where they can catch the Golden State Warriors feeling good, fat and happy. Man, we're so glad to be home. And we just got a couple big W's against some of the best teams in the league, and the Thunder and the Celtics. We're feeling good about ourselves. First half, this is a flat spot for the Golden State Warriors. I got to go with the Dallas Mavericks coming off a tough loss, and they've lost 2 straight now. They're going to be trying to get right here in a measuring stick game as well against the Golden State Warriors. Give me the Mavs first half +1. They take care of business. What do you think?
Yeah, I can't talk you off. Y'all, I was trying to pull up my first half numbers right now, but it's definitely not a bad look as well, man. So what, against the spread, they're 4-6 against the spread so far in the first half, but they are 2-0 with the rest advantage, I believe they're saying. So no, it's an away underdog. They're 2-0 against the spread in the first half. So plus the one there, can't talk you off. This definitely makes sense as well. Warriors could definitely possibly come out flat. I mean, this team literally just like you said, they were traveling all over the place. See, Houston, DC, Boston, Cleveland, then OKC, and they were up huge in that game. They were up 30-some points in that one, and then before you know it, OKC is making it really close. So they had to put their guys back in to close that game out. We could take even more energy. You thought you were done playing. It's like, oh no, we got to go back in now. So you almost have to win 2 games there, but definitely not a great spot. They did go 4-1 on that road trip as well. Warriors playing some really great basketball. I tell you right now, like that. First off, Clay coming back to Golden State, that's going to be a huge deal. Each team is going to want to beat each other. I lean the under in this game. I think it'll be a real playoff style type of game. If the Warriors are a little flat, we know that they rely on the 3-pointer very heavily. If they're coming out flat, that means they're probably not as efficient from 3-point land. I think this game will be a lot more defensively. And if you look at the Mavs as well, I know that they're missing Lively and PJ Washington, but that's also taking a hit to their offense because we know Lively, he's a lob threat almost like that pick and roll with Luka is deadly. PJ Washington shooting threes, he can mid-range, he can catch lobs as well. So they're missing those two for sure. And I tell you right now, if even if we had one of those, PJ or Lively, I'd be all over the Mavs here, probably first half and full game. But if I had to play it, I would look towards Mavs in the first half, just because I think that that's their peak advantage in this particular game. Mavs early here, and then, like I say, I mean, right now the Warriors are a little bit more healthy than them. Sometimes the better team can win throughout the full 48, but the first 24 minutes, the Mavs definitely have the advantage. And like you say, coming off a couple losses. And guess what? They've speaking about starting games early, too. This is why you listen to the post-game interviews. Jason Kidd was really pissed at his team after that Suns game and was like cursing and all this. And what did they do? They came out there, and I know that they were up at the end of the first half. Yeah, they were down at the end of the first quarter, but they were up at the end of the first half. So they came out covered first half versus the Nuggets, who were playing well at the house. I think they could possibly do it here again.
No doubt about it. One more thing. When we talk about Luka and the Mavs, the 2 losses in a row and this spot just feels like a really, and even the Clay element is interesting. I just think they come out very dialed and ready to go to start the year. And last thing about Golden State, I talked about this on NBA TV on Friday going into that Cavs game. I gave out Cavs -4. I bet Cavs -4. They had the weakest schedule in the league, strength of schedule they had played going into Boston. Then they get Boston without Jaylen Brown. Then they get a fully healthy, rolling Cavs, and they get absolutely their doors blown off versus the Cavaliers. They got smoked. Game was over in the first 10 minutes.
That's a fact.
Then they get a big win versus Golden State, but Chet goes down the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So these wins that they're getting aren't at full strength. And then the team they did play at on full strength, Cleveland Cavaliers, they got blown out. Keep an eye on. I think the Warriors are getting a little extra love, and all this about how their defense is this, their defense is that. They're playing teams that are missing superstars, and then their last 5 games have gone over the total. So keep an eye on the Golden State smoke. I think this is a good spot to get Dallas, especially in that first 2 frames. All right. Oh,
this game's going under. The game's going under 230. I think it was 231, 230 and a half. I think it may even went up 232 and a half. That game's going under. It's not seeing 225 in my opinion.
Okay. That's why you listen to the Full Buckets episode. Jay gives you a little extra play at the end. I got a couple trends for the NBA Cup to go back to that as well. I forgot. Shout out my guy, Evan Abrams. He sent me these. Over under in Cup games, group play, 35 and 32 to the under last year. Home teams, ATS in the NBA Cup, 32, 28, and 4 ATS. So that's about even. Home dogs ATS, though, 13, 8, and 2 ATS. To recap, J Money is on the Suns versus the Utah Jazz -3. I'm on the Knicks to win Group A of the NBA Cup +105, and the Mavs first half versus the Warriors +1. Jay also leans under in that game. Stay tuned. He'll probably hop on the mic and make that official, but he leaves under on that 230 on Mavs Golden State. For J Money is Money, I am your host, Sean Little, live from the Tommy John studio. This is your crew every Tuesday and Thursday. We'll be back rolling this Thursday. Make sure you subscribe. Tell a homie to tell a friend to subscribe. Lock into the Action Network YouTube page. J Money, Sean Little. Until next time, get buckets, baby.